Tequila and karaoke with this guy, I don't recommend. But this next video I do. Man, even my hair hurts. Everybody, this is Mr. Sawbladehead, your favorite rock and roll welder. And no, you are not seeing double. This is Welding with Tequila. Now, I created these two cool sculptures for rock and roll tequila. I wanted to, I had multiple visions of the product. This one was my first one because I am familiar with the product with their Gibson Les Paul, and that's exactly what I envision when I think of rock and roll. Think of large crowds, amps on stage, large drums, pyro, you name it. And that's the first envision. Plus, we can also swap that on out with their other Gibson Les Paul style bottles. However, when they show me the, hey, we got a new Flying V, and it's also the Day of the Dead type of imagery, I kind of revamped that, and I created my Tequila Guy here. The same techniques into the fabrication went into the stage design. However, these very cool skeleton bone fingers. Now, this is solid steel. The process is tedious. However, it's a simple technique of grinding, sanding, welding again, grinding, sanding, cutting, and then also hammering. Now, you can use an oxygen acetylene torch to go ahead and do that. You can use a forge. However, for those that didn't, this is the process that I use. Just one simple grinder and grinding wheels, flat wheels, cut-off wheels, and hammering. So I want to show you how I did this. Plus, I also want to do two different types of functionality. I wanted a wall sculpture as well as a tabletop style design. Obviously, both bottles go in here. However, he was out doing some karaoke and partying the other night, and it broke the other bottle. So, he's just got his karaoke mic right here for him. So I had to stick that right there so I don't have two bottles. So, in the meantime, let's get to it. This is Welding with Tequila, seeing double. So here's the design concept that I have. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of sketch this out on some scrap steel that I have here and start making this thing happen. In my previous video, I had already cut out a mock-up of the tequila bottle, as you see right here, and I'm using that same template on the Tequila Guy to get all my proportions correct on my design.
I had a couple little boo-boos as I was cutting out a skeleton, so I'm going to have to go ahead and fill that up.
Once you decide on the length of the finger, go ahead and mark to indicate where each knuckle is going to be, and this is going to indicate where you're going to be grinding. Step 1. Use your grinder to make a straight groove as a guide. Step 2. Using your grinder to move in a weaving or oscillating movement in order to make inconsistent markings. This is going to be crucial to adding texture to the knuckle. Step 3. Grind away at the middle of the bone, but leave the outer edges so the knuckle portion will be larger. Step 4. Weld the outer portions of the knuckle to increase the thickness of the knuckle and to give you that shape and textures that you're going to achieve. Use lower amperage and higher wire feed in order to achieve this.
Look how beautiful that looks. Wow, look how beautiful it'll look once I'm done with it. I want that gnarly welding on there. You'll see why.
Step 5. Grind your welds down to give added dimension and shape until you're satisfied with the look. But don't go too much because you will be doing multiple steps after this. Step 6. Using a 36 or a 60 grit flat disc, sand, polish, and shape to your desired effect. Step 7. Repeat the steps 2 to 4 times in order to achieve the desired look. Step 8. Shaping the finger. Multiple ways of doing this. 1 is to simply bend it with a hammer or pry bar. 2. Cut grooves into the material itself and hammer and bend to your liking. Or 3. Cut off completely and weld in place.
me go ahead and build up. Let me go ahead and build up some of this metal to kind of get that contour of the bone, and then I'm gonna grind it in the middle so it gets that flare.
See, there's the guitar neck mock-up. Now is the time to actually create the skeleton hand that will hold the guitar neck. Now I had already made all the individual fingers, and I'm actually positioning them right now on a piece of 1.5 inch square tubing, and I have a piece of flat bar so the bottle will actually rest nicely against that, and just getting my dimensions of the fingers correct. As well as making sure that the bottle can easily go in and out of where the hand is. Go ahead and weld all the solid, 196 inches per minute, 17.2 volts. Still using the 035 ER70S MIG wire.
Water cranked at 18 volts, 240 inches per minute, but I have to make sure that I'm not gonna blow through this sheet metal, so I'll just put all the heat out here, get that molten hot, and push it down. Here we go.
Next is welding this post in which the flying V is going to rest upon on top of the Tequila Guy. Now next is cutting out the sombrero. I need to get some additional layers with my piece, and what I'm going to do is cut out the sombrero, and then I might cut that into 2 sections, as well as doing some hammering and some forming to give me the depth and textures that I'm looking for. that is a wrap. I told you I was going to give you an encore. Rock and Roll Tequila Guy here's one hell of an encore. So until next time, inspire, empower, create, and repeat. But except for the karaoke and the tequila, I can't do that. So. Anyways, Tequila Guy and Sawbladehead, we are out.